Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. We're live here inside the MBIN studios, and pleased to have friends back in studio, friends that are supporting an awesome cause that was started by friends of mine as well, with tailgate with the Stovers for years. Didn't know at the time that they had begun a labor of love, years prior to that, called Ellie's Place. And joining us to talk about a significant moment in the history of Ellie's Place, we have Monica Branchow in studio. Monica, how are you this morning?
I'm wonderful. Thanks, Sam, for having me on.
It's so good to see you. Exciting times, right?
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting.
Right?
I want to shout it from the mountaintops. It's like we've been working on this for 2.5 years, and now it's like we can tell everybody. So thanks for having us on to share about it.
All right, and we also have in studio a voice. How long has it been since you've been on these airwaves? But 5-6 years at least.
Yeah, probably.
But Mark Ouimet. Now, not the Mark Ouimet that I originally started doing Sunday mornings with about, 14 years ago. That was your son.
Right.
It's like, Sam, you should get on the radio. It's like, I don't want to get on the radio, Mark. He was like, look, you need to get on the radio. And that was the
He
start.
should have been your agent.
That was the start of the radio career, but Mark Ouimet is in studio with us.
Thank you for having us. This is an important time in Ellie's Place, and we wanted to share some good news with you and the listeners.
All right, so we've been talking for quite a while about the new facility that Ellie's Place was looking to build here in Ann Arbor. You can see the image by going to elliesplaceannarbor.org. That's Ellie's, E-L-E-S, placeannarbor.org. And turns out, Monica, that you guys just broke ground on the new facility.
We did. It was a beautiful Tuesday morning, just this last Tuesday. We had close to about 75 people in attendance, and the location's at 5665 Hines Drive. That's just off of State Street, for those listeners who know Ann Arbor well, right next to Gym America. And it's this gorgeous 4-acre property lined with trees, and I mean, if you think about when our families come and kind of the space that they're in, and when they walk into our future new doors, we really want it to be like a peaceful sanctuary, and that is what it's going to be. So
I got a little bit ahead of myself by not getting into what Ellie's Place is all about. For folks who may not be familiar, just assume we've talked about it for so long.
Yeah.
Just assume that people know. But for those that don't, give them Ellie's Place, the mission statement.
Yeah, so Ellie's Place offers peer-to-peer support for kids from 3 to 18. We know that 1 in 20 kids will experience the death of a parent before they're 18, and if you include siblings and other important people in their life, it's more like 1 in 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's thousands of kids, and we serve children not only in Washtenaw County, but in 8 surrounding counties. So we serve close to about 130 children a week come through our doors, but we know the need is even greater than that.
Mm-hmm. And right now you're renting church space, right? And have a waiting list.
Yeah, so exactly. So we have a waiting list, and that is why this new building is so critical, because we're going to be able to truly meet the needs of the community and eradicate the waiting list. We're anticipating, when we open the doors, probably close to a 25% growth in being able to serve the kids.
So, Mark, one of the things that is so great about this community is the people in it seem they get it. They
for sure.
get the needs,
Absolutely.
get the needs that others, and for most people, it's about others, but eventually, it comes back home. How many times have we talked about Ellie's Place? Little did I know down the line that it would be something that my family might need, and others would be in that position, but to have a facility like this here speaks to the needs of this community right now.
Yeah, and it's so important that children have a safe place to go to discuss their feelings about a loss. And Ellie's Place provides that. And now that we can provide an actual home for them that they can come to, and with other peers that are going through the exact same thing, so they know they're not going through this loss by themselves. And the community has been wonderfully receptive to this, because this is something, it's not like a disease that will ever get cured. There will always be someone in a family passing away, and a child has, we have an opportunity to help children go through this process, not alone, but with others who care.
You know, when you were last here, Monica, we got a message from former Eastern Michigan basketball coach Charles Ramsey, former assistant at Michigan, who recently lost his wife, and he has 2 boys, and he talked about how much of an impact Ellie's Place had on helping his boys through. Now his oldest son is going to go to the Air Force Academy. I mean, it's you see them able to cope, based in large part on the support that they received at Ellie's Place.
Right, and our vision is that no child will grieve alone, and the skills that these children and teens are able to learn, to manage these huge feelings that they're having when they're going through this grief. And we know that kids grieve differently. That's the other thing that's so important to understand, that kids grieve really differently than adults do, and that peer-to-peer support that we offer, so that all of a sudden kids don't feel alone anymore. And they go to school, and like a month after or 2 months after the death happened, their friends are like, why are you so sad? Or they don't understand it because they haven't gone through something like that. So their safe space is Ellie's Place, where they are sitting with other kids that are like the same size as them, the same age as them, and feel the same way they do. And so they're not like, oh, I'm weird, or what's wrong with me, and they can talk about these feelings. And we do it, thank goodness for our amazing program team that leads them through these phenomenal activities every single week to talk about things like anger and guilt and other big feelings like that.
Yeah, I've spoken with Woody and Betsy about this several times, to your point, and they said, you go through your grief as the adult, the parent, and you don't process the same way, right, as your kids. And they said they noticed, man, that their kids are really, really struggling. There need to be something special for them, and this speaks to that special need, because adults seek out counseling and support all the time, but it is not as accessible or readily available for kids. That's why Ellie's Place is so necessary. But it is always the case. You break ground on a facility like this, and so often people think that, oh, well, all the fundraising is done, and that's not the case.
No. So our campaign goal is $7.6 million, and we have $1.6 million still to go, which is a hefty amount. But we know that we live in a very generous community. And so you can donate at elliesplaceannarbor.org, and the Bureau Foundation right now is matching every dollar for dollars. So this is a perfect time to get involved.
Right, and it's important to go to elliesplaceannarbor.org, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think a lot of people think if they just go to the main website and donate there, that it will go to Ann Arbor, but that's not necessarily the case.
Right, so if they go to the main website, they can click to our campaign website, but yes, they want to donate on the campaign website. Because while we're doing this campaign, we're still running our program, right? And that's supported by donors, which is a really important point as well, is that every family that comes to Ellie's Place comes for free. And
you say that again.
Ellie's Place, every family that comes to Ellie's Place comes for free. And that is so critical. If you have the loss of a spouse, like, that changes everything. I mean, it changes, the income level, and, we don't want people to worry about that. Or if you have somebody who's been really sick and you have piles and piles of medical bills, we don't bill insurance, we don't do any of those things. We don't want people to worry about it. And we have had families call us and say, how much is this going to cost, and what do I have to do? And when we tell them it's free, people will just cry in almost joy that they don't have to worry about how they're going to come and how they're going to afford it. They just need to attend.
Speaking to the needs of the community again, right?
Right, exactly. So we want the whole focus to be on the children getting better, and not going through this alone. So we take away all the hurdles that would prevent a child from being able to go to Ellie's Place.
ElliesPlaceAnnArbor.org. Again, ElliesPlaceAnnArbor.org, and that's ELES PlaceAnnArbor.org, and you can donate. Again, the fundraising is not over. Yes, they broke ground, but there's still more ground to cover financially. So what did you say, it's $1.6 million to reach the goal.
Exactly.
So all of your donations are certainly welcome and appreciated, and there's a $75,000 match going on right now. So whatever you donate, you just think about it being double. 5 is 10, 10 is 20, 50 is 100. Go on with that, and let's try to take advantage of this generous match that has been put forth. Again, it's ElliesPlaceAnnArbor.org, ELES PlaceAnnArbor.org. Well, great job, guys. Great job.
Oh, thanks, Sam.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
having
Well,
us.
we haven't had you on since the
Derby.
the Derby event that you had,
That
which
was a party.
Yeah.
You need to go
It
next
was
year.
great.
well, I was out of town. This
I
year.
know,
great
I know,
time.
you were busy, but if you're in town on May 4th, 2019, you know where you need to be.
Yeah, I saw. I mean, the hats. There was one piece of it where there was dancing without music, or at least music that everyone else could hear. It's like everyone had their own.
Yeah,
Like
the
personal-
Derby Disco.
Yeah. It was something else, but it was great.
Did you participate in Derby Disco?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Is there video of Mark Wilmette?
No, there is
cutting a
not.
rug? There
There
isn't?
is not. Nor
Is it?
will there be.
All right, guys. So again, ElliesPlaceAnnArbor.org, ELES PlaceAnnArbor.org. Be sure to get your donations in. This is a community gem that we need to help be realized, and you can do that by offering your donations today. And again, a generous match of $75,000 has been put forth. So whatever you donate, whatever is raised up to that point will be matched. So let's get to work and make it happen. Well, guys, thanks a lot for dropping by this morning.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
very
much,
much. We
Sam.
appreciate it.